Continuing on that talk of supplements, I want to talk about the other supplement I always recommend to my clients, whether it be online or in person, and that is whey protein. Whey protein is just incredibly convenient, especially considering most of the time I recommend people increase their protein intake. So most people are under on their protein. They may not realize it, but the average person gets about 30 to 60 grams per day. If I'm shooting for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, for me that's going to be 170 grams of protein per day. 170 grams of protein might seem like a lot for some people. It's really not once you start practicing the regimen of getting that much protein in per day. As long as you're getting anywhere between 20 and 40 grams per meal, if you have 4 to 5 meals per day, then you're probably going to be good. It's going to be different for everybody, obviously. I usually recommend shoot for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, or take your weight and multiply that by 0.7, and whatever that number is, that's how many grams of protein you want per day. Somewhere between those two numbers you can follow as well. It doesn't have to be precise, you just want to try to be as accurate as possible day to day. So whey protein is really convenient because typically if you make a shake, 1 scoop is going to have anywhere between 20 and 25 grams of protein. So if you have a shake mid-morning on your way to lunch, you can throw a little bit of fruit in there, a little bit of almond milk, or you can use water and ice, and you do a scoop or 2 scoops of protein. That's either 20 to 25 grams to 40 to 50 grams of protein in one shot, okay? And your body will utilize that protein within a 24-hour period. It's not that your body can't absorb or use the protein beyond 30 grams at a time. That's not really how our bodies work. That's a bit of a myth that's been touted for years and years, but we're becoming much more aware of how our body uses protein within a 24 to 48 hour period. So you can do 40 grams of protein in one sitting. That is completely fine. Your body will use it. Protein is important because it helps you acquire and sustain that lean tissue. So anytime you're lifting, you're acquiring and sustaining lean tissue. Hopefully, that's the goal. And when you have more lean tissue on your frame, you're going to have much more robust metabolism. The protein is going to help you sustain that lean tissue. It's going to help you hang on to it. Okay, if you're just eating carbohydrates and fats and not very much protein day to day, then you're not going to have a very easy time acquiring and sustaining lean tissue, okay, because your body will get rid of it over time. Whey protein is good, and it doesn't really matter what the brand is. There's not a specific type. The only thing you're really looking for is an isolate, okay, whey isolate, because if it's a concentrate, that means, if it says whey concentrate on the bottle, then that means there's some fillers in it. They've mixed it with something that you may not necessarily need. So ideally you want a whey isolate protein. Look for one where hopefully you can get a sample of it first so you can make sure you like the taste of it. Not all of them are terrible. There will be some that you enjoy more than others. The ones that you like a lot are the ones you should stick with. And then if you get sick of it, you can always experiment and try something else. Ideally, you want to get most of your macronutrients and micronutrients from actual whole foods. So, poultry, meats, there's a little bit in dairy, there's a little bit in veggies, oatmeal. That's where you're going to get the bulk of your protein. But if you need a supplement to help you get more protein, then whey protein is the best way to go. Okay, and it's really convenient. There's also vegetarian and vegan proteins as well. Sometimes they're made of rice protein or pea protein. They are a little bit more expensive, but they are available, and they can be a great substitute for whey. At the end of the day, protein is protein. Your body's going to use it the same. Vegetarians and vegans can get just as much protein as somebody that eats meat. That's totally doable and practical and realistic. It's not completely unrealistic to assume a vegetarian or a vegan can't get enough protein. There's thousands who do, and it's becoming much more popular these days. Vegan and vegetarian bodybuilders exist, and they have lots of lean tissue on their frame. They have lots of muscle mass. Caffeine and whey protein, generally, besides vitamins that I recommend, those are the 2 supplements that I recommend the most. I don't really recommend a whole lot of other supplements, but those 2 are ones that I use, ones that I recommend to my clients, and they work very, very well.